Yeah. Woo! Alright, sweet. So we're live. Welcome to the Suitcase Music Show. Coming to you live at Lord Brahmas. What kind of room is this? This is a living room? Yeah, okay, yeah. Lord Brahma's living room. That's what it is. Okay, yeah. So welcome to the Suitcase Music Show. Coming to you from Lord Brahma's living room. We're gonna play some songs and warm up, and then make a jingle later. Yeah. Woo, woo. Perfect.
Self-discovery. The path of self-discovery has no end, so you can pick any place to begin. The path of self-discovery, yes, has no end, so you can pick any place to begin. Yes, you can pick any place to begin. Yes, so why not right here? Why not right now? Yes.
The path of self-discovery.
And now we're warming up, and it sounds super weird, just like normal. Now we're warming up, and it sounds super weird, just like
That's great. Perfect. Turn that down an inch. Let me do this. Huzzah. I'm sorry, what did you say? Wait till we get 4 hours in. All right, nice. Well, I don't think we got any questions in chat yet, so let's just play some more songs, and hopefully eventually we'll get one. Yeah.
longest journeys that you could ever take starts with a single step. And when you take off, don't even look back. By the time you can see where you're going, you can't see where you came from. The longest journey that you could ever take starts with a single step. And when you truly take off, don't even look back. Longest journey.
It's the longest journey that you could ever take. Starts with the single step.
And now that you took off, don't even look back.
Omci dalla valla massa, omci dalla valla massa, omuci dalla valla massa, dalla valla massa, dalla valla massa. Make up your own mantra. Chant them till you awake. Chant them till you awake. Chant them till you awake. Chant them till you awake.
Make up your own mantras and chant them till you awaken. Om Chi Dalla Valla Massa, Dalla Valla Massa, Dalla Valla Massa, Dalla Valla Massa. I will meet you in the field beyond right and wrong with the picnic prepared to give you strength to walk up that mountain, so you can see the peak for yourself and the valley. We're looking up to the stars and just wondering.
When you get to the top of the mountain, and you can feel the wind.
When you get to the top of the mountain, and you can feel the winds. When you get to the top of the mountain, and you can feel the wind at the back as you push on forward, going down the path of self-discovery. Yes, sir, I will meet you in the field beyond right and wrong with the picnic prepared to give you strength to go walk up that mountain of self-discovery. When you get to the top of the mountain and you can feel the wind at your back. Onchi dalla valla massa, dalla valla massa, looking down at the peaks for yourself. Looking down at the peaks for yourself. You can see the valley is endless. Looking down at the peaks for yourself. Getting to the top of the mountain, and you can feel the wind as it builds and breaks over the edge. You can feel the wind as it bends and breaks when you look over the edge.
I will meet you in the field just with the breakfast prepared to give you the strength to walk up that mountain by yourself. If no one comes when you call, just go it alone. I will meet you in the field beyond all right and wrong with a picnic prepared to give you strength just to walk up that mountain of self-discovery. And when you reach the top, you will feel the wind. You will feel the wind as it bends and breaks across the cliffs. You will feel that wind as it bends and breaks across the cliff. Omuchi dalavala masa, yes, omuchi dalavala masa.
Make up your own mind. You can feel the wind. When you get to the top of the mountain, you can feel the wind as it bends and breaks looking over the edge. You can feel the wind as it bends and breaks when you walk over the edge. You can feel the wind as it bends and breaks when you look over the edge. And if you ever get courage to jump off, the ground never comes. It is endless.
If I see you near the edge, I'm gonna push you off. If I see you near the edge, I'm gonna push you off, cause the ground never comes. You get used to the gravity, you fall asleep and you begin to dream. How do you think we came to be? If I see you near the edge of self-discovery, I'm gonna push you off, cause the ground never comes. It is endless, you get used to the gravity. You fall asleep and you begin to dream. Yes, how do you think we all came to be? You are the one transcendent divine eternal energy. You're simultaneously embodying all forms. You
are the one transcendent divine eternal energy, simultaneously embodying every single last form. Om Chi Chi Da Va.
Alright, that was kind of scattering all over the place, but I think we at least hit a point in there where it did the thing and stuff. Alright, cool. So let's make some more songs. Woo! I will meet you in the field. We'll signal to the aliens. This is where you should land. We'll signal to the aliens. Yes, meet me in the open field. Meet me in the open field. We'll signal to the aliens.
We'll signal to the aliens that this is where they should land. Meet me in that open field and we'll awaken. Yes, meet me in that open field and we'll signal to the aliens that this is exactly where they should land. That this is exactly where they should. that open field, and we will gather and signal to the aliens that this is exactly where they should land. Dialing up alien Morse code so we can communicate on light years and tell them that it's safe to come here for some dialect. Yes. Om Muji Dalavala Masa, Om Muji Dalavala Masa, Om Muji Dalavala Masa. Yes, paradox, not mathematics, is the universal language. A paradox, not mathematics, is the universal language. What kind of language do you think the aliens speak? They speak in riddles and alien Morse code. Dial in back home. Alien Morse code, dial in back home. What kind of language do you think that the aliens speak? Speak in riddles and paradox. Speak in riddles and paradox. Om Chi Dava Duvala Madasa. Let's bring this back in. Aliens speak in riddles and paradox. Mathematics is not the universal language. Comedy and paradox is. What kind of language do the aliens speak? They speak in riddles and paradox. Let's bring this back. Meet me in the field. We'll signal to the aliens this is the safest place to land. Yes, meet me in the open field. We'll signal to the aliens this is the safest place to land. For nice little dialogue will never end. Meet me in the open field and we'll guide them on down. Just meet me in the open field and we'll guide them down. Just meet me in the open field, we'll guide them down.
What kind of language do the aliens speak? They speak in riddles and alien Morse code. Yes, mathematics is not the universal language. It's comedy and paradox and the absurdity of reality. Yes, mathematics is not the universal language. Alien Morse code. Dial in, yes, back home. Alien Morse code, dial in 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 back home.
Meet me in the field. We'll signal to the aliens that this is the safest place that they could land. What kind of language do the aliens speak? They speak in riddles and paradox, making fun of the absurdity of reality. Mathematics is not the universal language. Meet me in the field, the open field, and we'll signal to the aliens this is the safest place to land. Don't take you to our leader, they are not in command. We won't take you to our leader, they are not in
That simple little 1, 2, 3. And I can go for eternity. You just give me that simple little 1, 2, 3. And I can keep on growing for eternity. You just give me that simple little backbeat, and we can keep on growing for eternity. Just give me that simple little backbeat, and we can keep on growing for eternity. Just give me that simple little backbeat, and we can keep on growing for eternity. Yes, what kind of language do the aliens speak? They speak in a little
Alright, that was a weird one. Alright, sweet. Well, if there's anyone out there in the internet realm, you can ask any question in the live chat, and that'll be the next question in the Infinite Songs. And we're probably just going to play one or two more, because we were just kind of getting warmed up so we can make one of these jingles and whatnot. Yeah. Alright, sweet. Well, let's play one or two more songs. And then let's see what we can do. Yeah. Awesome. But yeah, thank you out there to all the people who's ever housed us and fed us and kept the suitcases moving and going so we can keep playing weird music. Alright, cool. Waha. Alright, yeah. Alright, sweet. So we got a question. The question on deck is, what is my favorite plane of existence? So that's a pretty good question. So we're probably going to make some loops, answer this question, and then probably be good on this stream because we were just kind of warming up so we can make some of these jingles for the Pink Flamingo Diner. Yeah. Alright, sweet. So let's see what we can do with this. Thank you so much for the question. What is my favorite plane of existence?
Dakota, all of a sudden a couple comes on over. What are you doing out here in middle of the Badlands by yourself? I'm just screaming into the ether to see if I can find meaning in anything. And they said, what are these suitcases even doing? They're just infinitely playing strange, weird music. And they said, I think we got something for you, kid. And they said, we think we got something for you, kid. And they said, oh, we got something
for you, kid. Just chilling out in South Dakota in the Badlands, doing absolutely nothing. Screaming up to the ether by myself to see if there's any meaning to be found. A couple comes on over and says, what are you even doing out here? I'm just screaming till about 4 a.m. and then start it all up again. We got a book for you, kid. We both already read it, you can have it. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it.
Little did I know, everything's a red. South Dakota, just screaming to the ether. All of a sudden a nice couple just walks on over, says, what you up to, kid? I'm just screaming till 4 a.m. to just do it all over again. You got some weird suitcases, let's see what you can do with them. We got a book for you, we've both already read it a couple of times. I'll put it in your bag for later. We're sure you'll enjoy it. Living on the disc world. Living on the disc world. Living on the disc world. On top of the Transversing the ionosphere to the unknowable cloud, evaporating and forming the unknowable cloud, just transversing the ionosphere up to the unknowable cloud, and looking down, and looking down, and transversing the ionosphere to the unknowable cloud, and looking down. Transversing time to the antiquity of ancient Greece, chilling with Socrates, staring up at the stars and asking, yes, who am I? And what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? Transversing the timelines to ancient antiquity, chilling in ancient Greece with Socrates, looking up to the stars and wondering why. Who am I and what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? Yes, who am I and what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? Transversing timelines to ancient Greece, painting out an antiquity with Socrates, Transversing timelines to antiquity. Chilling with Socrates in ancient Greece. Staring up at the stars and asking who am I? And what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? What is my favorite plane of existence to ride? Transversing the timelines to antiquity. Chilling with Socrates back in ancient Greece. Staring up at the stars and wondering who am I? And what is my favorite, yes, plane of existence to ride? Transversing timelines to antiquity. Chilling with Socrates in ancient Greece. Staring up at the stars and wondering who am I? And what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? What is your favorite plane of existence to ride? What is your favorite plane of existence to ride? What is your favorite plane of existence to ride? What is your favorite plane of existence to ride? What is your favorite plane of One more time, transversing the timelines to antiquity. Yes, the ancient Greece, just chilling with Socrates, staring up at the stars and wondering who am I and what is my favorite plane of existence to ride. Staring up at the stars and just wondering why. Who am I and what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? That there is liberation from any nation by staring up at the constellations. It's on the tips of all tongues, just waiting to be stated. Yes, there is liberation from any nation by staring up at the constellations and asking, who am I and what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? Yes, who am I and what is my favorite plane of existence to ride? You are the one transcendent, divine, eternal energy that will simultaneously grow through every incarnation till it knows itself to be the oversoul, encaptured in every single last. Om Chidala Vala Masa Bella Vala Ma O. 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 Vala Ma O. Vala Ma O.
Yeah. All right, nice. Well, thank you so much for the question out there. And yeah, we'll just check to see if we got any other questions. And if we don't got any other questions, that's totally awesome because I feel like we're finally warmed up now. So we can make that jingle that we set up to make. Perfect. What's that? All right, so I guess we do got some questions. Nice. All right, that's what that was. Awesome. So we got 2 questions on deck, it seems like. Just shout out to Gary. Hope you're doing well as well. We love you. And sweet. So hopefully come down to Florida. It's nice. Woo! But okay. So the first question is, why is what? Which that's like a trivium paradox right there. So that one's good. I've never exactly been asked that. And then another question is, what's the best question I've ever been asked, and what is the answer? So I'm pretty impressed because both of these questions, I don't just have an immediate thing that just does the thing immediately. So I actually have to think about it. So that's always interesting. So nice. So let's make some backbeats and see if we could do a 2-for-1er here. So why is what? And what's the best question I've ever been asked? And what was the answer to it? All right, thank you so much for the questions. I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Another perfect Sunday morning. After reading the obituaries, after sleeping in the cemeteries, after sleeping in the cemetery.
back to the trivium. What they should have taught you in school, but I'm sure they didn't even brush up on it. Going back to the trivium, I'm sure they didn't even teach it. To the questions like why is what and what is why. You gotta go back to the foundations, study the trivium. I'm sure you weren't even taught. If you went to the public school. Down to the question of why is what and what is why. It goes back to the trivium, the foundation of Western thought and canon of philosophy and logic and rhetoric. Starts with your grammar and then it goes on all over. If you study the trivium, I'm sure you weren't taught this in school. If you went to the public school just like me. It goes back to the trivium. It starts with your grammar. Then it goes to the logic. Then it goes to your rhetoric. It starts with your grammar. The what, the when. Then you get to the how and why. Philosophy is the trivium. It starts with your grammar, which is your who, your what, your where, and the when. And eventually that goes to the how and the. If you're growing up going to the public schools just like me, I'm sure you were never taught these simple little three things. That is what is called the trivium. Yes, it starts with your grammar, develops to your logic, and eventually you can express your rhetoric. It starts with your grammar, which is the who, what, where, and when. And that is your little house that you build to understand what you're even talking about. Then it develops to your logic and your rhetoric so you can figure out the how and the why. If you went to public school, I'm sure you weren't taught. These three simple little things called the trivia. Yes, it starts with your grammar, with your who, your what, your where, and your when. You can eventually express your logic and rhetoric and get down to the how and why.
If you're growing up going to the public schools, just like me, I'm sure you weren't taught these three little simple things: your grammar, your logic, and your rhetoric. The grammar starts with the who, the what, the where, and when. That is your foundational house to build upon to eventually get to your logic and express it with your rhetoric. It starts with your grammar, which is the who, the what, the where, and the when. That is your foundational part of the house that you build to get to the top of your logic. Then you can build yourself a window and scream on out it. And the way you articulate yourself is your rhetoric to explain your logic. If you're growing up going to the public schools, I'm sure you were never taught that these simple little three things: yes, your grammar, logic, and your rhetoric. If you're growing up going to the public schools, because I'm sure you were never taught. I'm sure you were never taught these simple little
three things. Yes, your grammar, your logic, and your rhetoric. Yes, your grammar, your logic, and your rhetoric. Did you grow up going to the public schools? Then I'm sure they didn't teach you these three things. Yes, your grammar, your logic, and your rhetoric, Did you growing up going to the public schools? Did you growing up going to the public schools? Did you grow up just like
Did you grow up just like me, getting forced to go to those public schools? Well, I'm sure they didn't teach you these three simple little things, and that is called the trivium. It starts with your grammar, and then your logic, and how you express that is your rhetoric. Your grammar is the who, the what, the where, and the when. That is the foundation of your house to build upon your logic, and then you make yourself a window. You use your rhetoric to scream out of that window to express what you have found. If you want to know why is what or what is why, start with the trivium. They didn't teach you this going back to the public schools. If you want to know why is what or what is why, just start studying the trivium. They did not teach you this going back to the public schools. It starts with the who, what, why, and where, and that is your foundation to build your house of logic upon. And then you carve yourself out a window and you can scream your rhetoric out to your neighborhood. Start studying trivium.
it will rain. Did you grow up going to the public schools? And then they didn't
goes back to the trivium. If you want to know who is what or why is where, start studying the trivium. They didn't teach you this back in the public school. Starts with your grammar, then it builds to your logic you express with your rhetoric. The grammar is the who, what, when, and where. And then you get to the how and why. When you build that foundation of your house of logic, then you carve yourself out a window. Thank you for the question.
But I like that question a lot. Now we wrote a new song that I'll have forever. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, why is what? That would be study the trivium. So the trivium is the foundation of all Western philosophy and Western canon before monotheistic religions really took over in the West. So the basic trivium is grammar, logic, and rhetoric. Your grammar is the who, what, where, and when. So that is who is talking or what is the conversation, who is it about, what is it, when, and where. And that's basically the grammar of, and that's your building blocks for your house of logic. And then within that house of logic, you process the grammar, and then when you develop a logical deduction, that's how you formulate the how and the why. You cannot know how or why until you first dissect the who, what, where, and when. So you first get the grammar down, then you dissect the grammar with your logic, and then you come up with your logical deductions, which would be the how and the why. And then once you get your how and your why through your logic, then you use your rhetoric, and the rhetoric is the third tool of the trivium, and rhetoric is how you express how you figured out the how and the why. And this was taught in all Western philosophy and Western schools of thought pretty much forever until about 100 years ago when the Rockefellers and other families hijacked the American schooling system through a man named Horace Mann, who started compulsory education, and they hired two psychologists, John Dewey and Erik Erikson, who were two psychologists, PhDs, to design the entire educational system to turn us all into mindless robots and mindless workers for the wars and for the machinery building in the factories for the wars. And so anyone who's asking the questions of how is why or where is why or any of those questions, you start with the trivium. If you start researching the trivium, as easy as Wikipedia the trivium, read that, maybe you get some references to some books, read those primer books, and that's pretty much like if you read any ancient Western philosophy text, it's like written in that exact boom, 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 and then you're able to just process information so much quicker. So this is good for storytellers too. So if you're a storyteller, before you hit the punchline of the how or the why to make people laugh, you first have to give them the grammar, which is the who, the what, the where, and the when. And a lot of times when we're telling stories, we already have all those formulae in our head, so we're just running to the how and the why and think it's really funny, but it's like, well, you got to give someone the foundation of the story. So this is great how we just wrote this song, so thank you so much for answering the question. So it would be the, grammar is the foundation for your house of logic, and then carve yourself a window and express yourself with your rhetoric. So we will have to touch that up and everything, but I think towards the end of at least that crazy thing, it definitely hit the point where I'll be able to bring that back on recall and always have that song forever. So thank you so much for asking that question. I've never been asked that before, so that's why I took a minute to kind of warm up and then get into the groove there to then get an actual answer out of there. But sweet, I think our last question is, so what's the best question we've ever been asked, and what was the answer? And that probably will be the sealer for the show and whatnot for just this little warm-up session so we can start making these jingles. So what's the best question I've ever been asked, and what was the answer? Geez, that's a good one. That's a noodle scratcher. I don't really have the right off the top of my head, nothing comes to mind. So I actually have to think about this one too, which is really good because I had to think about the last one too, and I liked where that came from. And I always really like this. It's like a lot of bands have to like take a bunch of time off to like write 12 songs for their new album or whatever. And every time we get asked a new question by anyone or a new story or a new joke, it just instant creation of just infinite new songs. So that's nice. Now we got a trivium song to explain the trivium to people. That's really good because that's very important in living in the Western world. Cool. So, what could be my favorite question that I was ever asked?
Oh, it wasn't the favorite, it was the best. It wasn't my favorite, but it was the best. It wasn't my favorite, but it was the best. It's not my favorite, but it is the best. The best question that I have ever been asked is who am I? Is who am I? That is the foundational, philosophical question of existence. It's not that it's my favorite, but it is the best of all the questions I have ever been asked. It's not that it's my favorite, but it is the best of every single question I have ever been asked. Who am I? Who am I?
Yeah, that might be the sealer. So I'm totally warmed up, so now I can start doing the thing. What happens is people just start asking me questions, then it just never ends, you know? But yeah, thank you so much to everyone out there in the internet realm. And I hope you have a great day. Woo! Yeah.